Welcome to the Bear Down Podcast. I'm Kenzie Fowler-Quinn, and joining us today, a couple of Arizona track stars. We have Talie and Jordan Geist. Thank you guys so much. I know you're busy, but thanks for fitting in some time to join us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, let's talk about where we're at right now in the season. Can you kind of break down how the track season works and where you guys are at in the season right now?
For sure, yeah. So the way track and field works in college, it's kind of split up into two different seasons. So we have an indoor season and an outdoor season. Indoor season starts as early as December in some places. Our team usually opens up in January, and that'll go towards mid-March, which is right around the halfway point in the semester. And then after the indoor season, we start our outdoor season the very next week, and that goes until second week of June, which will be the NCAA championships. Right now, we're kind of getting into our postseason. We just finished our regular season meets, and now we're getting ready for our Pac-12 championships, national qualifiers, and nationals coming up next week.
I love that both of you do multiple events. I think that's just really fun as a viewer. But let's take it back to how everything got started. Was it always those two events for you? Was it always even track? With humble beginnings, where did it all start for both of you?
So when I was a kid, I probably did every sport possible. I tried everything out. I didn't start track until high school. And then, even then, my dream was to be a collegiate volleyball player. I never really realized that I was going to be in track like for the long run until my junior year of high school. So that's what kind of happened. And then when I was recruited, I was recruited to be a heptathlete, which is 7 events.
Right.
So that's what I did for my first 2 years. And then after 2 years, I just had so many injuries and decided to just focus on my two favorite events, which is the 100-meter hurdles and high jump. So that's how I got to where I am.
Awesome. And what about you, Jordan?
Pretty similar start. Kind of started off playing football, baseball, basketball when I was really young, and then figured out I wasn't good at baseball, so I needed something else to do in the spring. So
What position in baseball?
I was so bad I don't even remember.
Okay. Move right past it.
So when I was 8, actually, I started doing track and field. I started throwing shot put discus. Both of my parents were D2 All-American throwers back in Pennsylvania. So I started throwing when I was 8. Played basketball all the way through middle school, football all the way through my sophomore year, then focused just on track. Only shot put discus until I came out to college and I started throwing hammer. And then over time, the hammer started to surpass the discus, and shot put was still kind of my main event. So over time, we dropped the discus and just focused on shot put and hammer.
Wow. So very different. Started early and then kind of figured it out late. What is it for your events or maybe just the sport of track that kind of drew you in, because you both dabbled in different sports? So what was it that stuck?
Track has always been in my family. My mom did it when she was in high school, and then my older sister did it when she was in high school as well, and she was really, really good at it. Ended up coming here and running, so I don't know, just seeing her success, I was like, maybe I could do it.
Try that out a little bit.
So
Okay.
I decided to try it out, just because I probably wanted to copy everything that she did.
Spoken like a little sister.
Yeah.
One of the things that drew me to it was just kind of being a little bit different from the other sports I played, and that was an individual sport. So playing basketball, baseball, or football, you could have the best game of your life, and if the rest of the team's not doing well, then you still end up losing and you're upset. But in track and field, the results are a direct output of whatever you're putting into it, your efforts, and how you do on that day. I think that's one of the main things that attracted me to it.
It's a great way to put it. You kind of forget about that a little bit. I think that's also maybe something that's hard about individual sports is it's, you got to turn the mirror a little bit and look at yourself. But you guys have had so much success, so it's been fun to watch. We were talking about this earlier. You guys are in your sixth year? Okay, just six. But didn't both of you break your records at home this year? That's pretty cool. Can we talk about that for a moment? I mean, you travel so much, you compete at all these different places to do it here at home. What does that mean for both of you?
I mean, for me, it's pretty cool. I felt like a little celebrity, to be honest.
Which I've
never felt
No,
before.
as you should.
And I mean, just having like the home crowd, like support you and like be so excited to see you do well. I mean, it was so cool for me because I've never really felt something like that before. Like I said, I felt like a little celebrity. I had some people ask me to sign their tickets and take a picture with them. So I was like, this is so cool. And it was just so cool to do it at home and have all the fans. And
Yeah, pretty similar here. I mean, competing here for 6 years. It's just kind of really special to do it in front of all the people that have helped get you to where you are now, whether it be your coach, your head coach, your support staff, strength and conditioning. Everyone comes to the home meet, so they kind of get to see the culmination of the work that we've done together over the past however many years.
Well, I'm going to use that segue. Is there someone in your journey through these long 6 years, I'm sure they've flown by, that maybe has stood out to you in your development, or someone that means a lot to you, just kind of a shout out time for you in your careers? It could be someone at home or someone here on campus.
My parents, first of all, they have flown across the country to every single one of my meets, no matter where we are. I mean, we went to the Bahamas this outdoor season, and they were in the Bahamas.
Well, I'm sure that was probably an easy decision.
Yeah. But still, I mean, like, no matter how far away it is, they're always there. And so that's just really special to me to have that support system. And then also Coach Harvey. I mean, he's believed in me the second I got in here. And I didn't get that at my old school. So it was like a whole new thing to have somebody like believe in me and want me to do well. And he just knows exactly what I need. And I really like that he doesn't just care about your athletics. He cares about you as a person and where you're going in life and all the other stuff. And so, yeah, I mean,
For me, I think the main one's going to be family. I come from a really big family, and ever since I left high school, even in high school, they were nothing but supportive of any decision I made, whether it was going through good times or bad times. They were always there for me. And then also Coach Harvey, bringing me in 6 years ago, being a man of his word and doing whatever was best for me in my time here. Even so, sending me to Penn Relays last weekend, where I'm from, to kind of have my own special senior moment there with my family, again, to celebrate that with them, as well as TJ Crater, my previous throws coach, no longer at the university, but recruiting me, coaching me for 5 years, as well as Lucas McKay, my current throws coach, getting me to where I'm at now.
I want to touch on those Penn Relays that you went to. How was that? I heard there was, like, would you have 60 people in attendance maybe, or more?
Somewhere around there, yeah. So my mom's one of 12, and the most of her siblings still live in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware area. So they ended up renting a school bus and taking that from my aunt's house into downtown Philadelphia to go to the track meet and get that kind of support. It's something we did 3 years in high school, and big family. They were all there all 3 of those years. So it was just pretty special to come back 6 years later and see that same support.
And then, of course, you get the dub.
Got the dub, got the meet record, got the watch, all that fun stuff.
The watch. Yes, we're talking about that was the prize, the watch. So that's big time. That's awesome. I want you both just to take a second and humble brag on yourselves and think about all of your success. I don't want to hear the cliche, it's the journey. No, I want to hear, like, what's your biggest award, your biggest win. Maybe it was just that. I don't know. It's up to you guys, but I think we need to brag about ourselves a little bit more when we have success like this. So, Talie, we'll start with you. What's been your biggest achievement that you're proud of?
Probably my biggest achievement was being an All-American this past indoor. I placed 7th in the NCAA, so 7th in the country. And then also every single indoor meet, I broke my own school record. So I just kept lowering it. So that was pretty cool to see that.
What goes into that? How do you do that?
Oh, I wish I knew.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, it was really small increments, but
right.
still.
But you're still getting faster.
Yeah, I mean, the training, I mean, that's how it's supposed to go. You're supposed to get better towards championship season. So, I mean, it worked. And I ended up getting 7th, and I was really proud of that. That's my second All-American award. And so, yeah.
For me, it's indoors, won national championship in the shot put. This was I'm trying to count now. This is my 10th or 11th national championship that I've competed in, and my highest placement up until then was 3rd, couple 5ths, couple 3rds, and just over time always being that close to being the winner, but always being the bridesmaid, never the bride. So I think just kind of, again, a culmination of all the work that I put in over the past 6 years, all the different support that I've had with our sports staff, my coaches, my family, just kind of that relief, I guess, almost, of being able to finally do that my last year. How
did you handle that pressure? Because, like you're saying, you're so close for so long and you know you can do it, and then you finally do it. But what was that pressure like?
It was a tremendous amount of pressure, most of it on myself, just kind of thinking about what legacy I want to try to leave behind. And one of the things that was always unchecked was being a national champion. I made USA teams. I've won national meets in high school. I've done all this other stuff, but never won an NCAA championship, which I think was something that was my main goal and Coach Harvey's main goal with me coming to the University of Arizona and finally being able to do that.
Talie, I want to ask you about your family. I know you mentioned that your sister also ran here, and I understand you come from a very, maybe not as big a family as Jordan's, but a very big competitive family with a lot of different sports and athletes. So can you just kind of break us your family down about who does what and maybe where?
Yeah. So my older sister, Tiana, ran here. She did the hurdles. She was also a multi-first and just did hurdles. And then my younger sister under me, Quincy, she actually came here to play soccer, and then she ended up transferring. So now she's at Utah Valley, and she plays soccer and runs track there. And then my youngest sister, she's a freshman at BYU, and she runs track as well there. My mom played field hockey.
Okay.
Was her main thing in high school. And then my dad played basketball. They both got scholarships to go play collegiately, but didn't take them and just went a different way.
Yeah.
And then actually my husband, I don't know if this counts as
Absolutely.
what you care about. I met him at Utah State, and he was a high jumper there. And I mean, he won the Mountain West. I don't know how many times.
Wow.
Too many times to count.
That's a lot of track.
So yeah,
For both of you.
yeah. So I think our kids will be good little high jumpers.
Yeah, not to put too much pressure on them.
Yeah.
You know, let them find their own
Of
journey.
course,
But
of course.
here's some shoes.
Yeah.
I also wanted to ask you, what's the biggest difference for you personally from last year to this year? You were talking about how you were named an All-American, definitely your biggest achievement. Training, you're still getting faster as we speak. But what went into that big jump for you?
Yeah. So I mean, last year, I was good, but it's not even compared to what I am this year. So it's been, I don't know, it's cool to see how much I've grown. And I think one of the main things that has gone into it is like my mental side of things. I'm like starting to see myself as an elite athlete now, when before I never really thought of myself as that. And so the more I like believe in myself and think like I deserve to be here just like everybody else, the better I do. And I just think confidence. And I think the people around me has also helped that. Like I said, Coach Harvey, he tells me how good I am all the time, and that helps. And so yeah, I think confidence is a big one, and then also just being older and more mature and stronger than I was. I mean, being a 6-year is kind of an advantage. I mean, you're a lot older than the 18-year-olds that come in as freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. So I'm glad that I kept going for 6 years to see how good I am getting, rather than have stopped earlier and not seeing the progress.
No, it is a great point with like the COVID year. We're seeing some of, the older athletes that we never would have seen before because you get that extra year. But for both of you being leaders on your track team, how has it been to be able to be the wisdomous one and talk to these young kids, these freshmen who are maybe big-eyed and trying to slow the game down for them and slow down their routine, and you can kind of give them that wisdom?
It's definitely very different. I'm 24 years old and I'm competing against 17-year-olds from coming out of high school.
Right.
So that's a pretty big age gap, but it's also a pretty big experience gap. Some of the younger kids, I think, still just trying to balance being a full-time student while training as a full-time athlete. Some of them are still working jobs. So I think just kind of sharing my experiences in the past too, and kind of the way I learned can kind of help them expedite that and try to navigate that a little bit more efficiently early, so that it's not taking them 3-4 years to be able to figure that out.
Is there something that you would have told yourself when you were now thinking about where you are now? You think about where you started when you were 18 years old as a freshman. What kind of wisdom would you give yourself?
The biggest thing I would have told myself is you're an idiot. You don't know everything. Don't act like you do. I mean, I wish I would have talked to a lot more people and I would have listened to a lot more people. And I think just trying to think for myself, but also taking in different people's inputs to kind of mold myself at that younger age would have made me a lot better, a lot faster.
I'd probably say to enjoy every moment. I mean, it goes by so fast. Even we got 2 extra years in it, and still it just feels too fast for me. And I think, like, as a freshman, I was so, like, caught up in, I don't know, like, oh, this practice went bad or this meet went bad. And I wish I would have just enjoyed the journey a little bit more because, I mean, it gets better and you get better. And I don't know. It just takes time, even though that is hard to hear when you're young, that it might take time for you to get to where you want to be. But it's true. And I just think enjoying the process is better than just trying to struggle through the process. So
100%. I hate to ask this because I remember being asked this as well, but you are a senior, so what is next? What I know we have a lot of unfinished business here for Arizona for you guys, but you know, a couple years from now, like what are the goals for you? Because I know maybe there are some opportunities there for both of you.
So my main goal is going to be to try to compete professionally once I'm done graduating, try to avoid having to get a real job and just keep trying to throw shot put for a living.
Do it.
Unfortunately, in this sport, there's not a lot of money, especially in the throws. So it's going to be a struggle, but it's a leap of faith that I'm going to take and try to fulfill my dream of representing Team USA in the Olympics.
Very
You're
similar.
next.
Yeah, very similar. I'm going to train post-collegiately, hopefully get a contract or something signed with somebody and go to the Olympic trials next year and hopefully make the Olympics because, I mean, we both have the standard already, right? Yeah. So just have to come top 3. Like it's easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the dream. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it while you can.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap up the serious part of things, and we're going to do our last segment, which is Quick Like a Cat. We've got 5 questions. I just want to hear, you know, the answer that pops off your head. First thing you think of. Are you superstitious before meets? And if you are, about what?
I am not.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I'm superstitious, but I always like to eat like Thai food before I run. I don't know why, but
That would be superstitious.
I mean, it's not like I have to. Like, I think, oh, if I didn't eat this Thai food, I'd do bad. But like, I like to eat it.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
that's the only thing.
Fair. Best concert you've ever been to?
I have 2. So the first one is Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Her 1989 tour from my sophomore year of high school.
Yes. Who were the surprise guests?
I had Little Big Town was mine. And then
It's a
my
winner
senior
right
year of
there.
high school, I went and saw Garth Brooks. Who
Yes.
He's really awesome. He won Performer of the Year in the 90s however many times. He was really cool.
Was that in Glendale?
That was in Las Vegas. I went and saw
Oh.
him. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Wow. Okay. Very nice.
Okay, since you said 2, I'll say 2 because I can't say. Probably the first one was Chris Brown and Trey Songz.
Oh, wow.
I went in high
What?
school.
I was going to say that had to be a.
Yeah.
Okay. A while ago.
And then the second one was Nicki Minaj. It was also in high
Ooh.
school. I went with my mom,
Love that.
and she loved it. So
Awesome. I didn't follow up. I was supposed to order by James Francis about you wearing a Taylor Swift shirt, winning an award or something. I don't know. Serious journalism here.
So that was my sophomore year. I went to that concert and I went to buy a T-shirt. And I was like, "Can I get that in XL?" And they're like, "Yep, sure thing. Here you go." I didn't know it was in women's sizes, so it's like it's a men's medium, and I still wear it. I'm a double X now. And so we do our red, white, and blue team every year, right? So I'm on the blue team, and it's
Okay.
a blue shirt. So
Perfect.
that's what I wear to compete in every year.
Yes.
Is this almost crop top looking
Yes.
blue Taylor Swift shirt
Which
is
is
what I use.
very
to
in
compete
style now. It's all about the crop.
But in high school, I think what
Vintage.
he's referring to is indoors. We didn't have a high school track team,
Uh-huh.
so I would just wear whatever I wanted to compete. So I used to wear this shirt to compete at indoor meets. And my senior year of high school, I broke the national record for a 16-pound, which is the college weight shot put thrown by a high schooler wearing a
In-
Taylor Swift shirt.
The T Swift
Oh,
shirt.
yeah.
Yes. Love that. Okay. Glad. Good follow up there. If you weren't a track star, what sport would you be playing?
I'd probably be playing football. I played through my sophomore year, and even in my sophomore year, I was getting recruited by Wisconsin was the big school that I ended up getting recruited by then. And then they came to visit my school the week after I quit football.
Mhm.
But otherwise, if I wasn't doing track, I'd probably still be playing football.
How many times has the football program here come to talk to you?
Too many.
Too many. I could guess that. Offensive line, I would guess.
I don't know. I'd shave some pounds. I think I'd
Yeah.
play linebacker.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Back in my day, I
Quick
was kind
feet.
of fast. Yeah,
Yeah.
not anymore.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mine would definitely be beach volleyball.
Yeah.
I love it. That's what I do on my free
Oh,
time.
really? Every time I go out there, I'm like, man, this is life.
I
They've
know.
got music. You're just in the sun all the time.
Mhm.
Okay. What is your favorite event to watch when you're not competing? Track. Like you're like watching them, you don't do it. You're like, that looks fun. I'm gonna watch this.
I think everyone loves pole vault just because it's risky, it's dangerous, it's edgy.
Yeah.
That's the. No, it's just really fun because it's
It
an
does
easy
look so dangerous.
it's an
Things
easy
go
sport to understand because it's binary. Either you make it or you don't. It's the same thing as high jump. It's
Yeah.
easy to follow, but it's still crazy that people are flinging themselves 15, 20 feet in the air whenever they're pole vaulting.
I don't know. I mean, I love to watch the hurdles, both short and 400. I just
Can't get enough.
every once in a while you get a fun fall.
It's true. It's kind of equal.
I've had my share of falls, so I can say that.
I feel like the hurdles are kind of like the NASCAR of track. Like you
Yeah.
watch for the speed, but then also we kind of watch for the crashes. So, yeah, it's fun. Okay, last question. Sentimental. What will you miss most about Arizona when you graduate?
This is kind of the cop-out answer, but the people. I mean, this university saw me from age 18 to 24, so that's a quarter of my life. They've helped raise me kind of into the person that I am. Support staff, strength coaches, my own coaches, teammates. It's all been just one big family, and if I'm not staying in Tucson after this year, they're probably going to be what I miss the most.
I'd probably say being part of a team. I feel like you meet these people and you spend 4 years with them, and it's kind of like sets of people. But I don't know. I'm gonna miss having teammates that are with me every day, texting with me, know my flaws, know my all the stuff about me. So I'll probably miss that.
Well, I know the track program will miss you both a lot. So that's it for our segment, and good luck the rest of the way. And Talie Bonds and Jordan Geist, the Bear Down Podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.